That's exactly.
Young, Shalom, brothers. Shalom, my wife. If you walk off out there listening.
All right. All right. Hold on. Let me get. Yep. Starting in landscape mode. Okay. Shalom, everybody. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, to the east, call halal Yahweh. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, for which in 100% truth and prove well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. I'm just trying to get the signs in there, man.
Yeah.
That's all good. I ain't tripping. Yep. Oh shit. Hold on. Let's get the yeah, Salakia. Let's try and do some last minute stuff like that. But anyway, like I said before, yeah, we just out here another vulnerable day of the sun, set up by the Roman Catholic Church to preach down the downfall of Babylon the Great, America. Okay, and to set these Christians straight concerning the Gentiles. See, you have to know the history of the Bible in order to know the mystery of the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Dream brother, your call was on the riding on the way over here. We was talking about how we had came into the truth and by how different means we ended up in the same truth. You know, he was over the other side of town. I didn't even know that they had a guy from Great Millstone and preaching from Great Millstone down here in Wichita. I thought I was it. You know, because I didn't see nobody out here preaching on my side of town. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of figured like, well, shit, I'm gonna do something for my people before it's too late. And so, you know, I started listening to I started out listening to Watchman reports, and then which was interesting, you know, of course I didn't have any belief in it.
Was it him and his wife?
Yeah. What's called Yahoo and Deborah.
Yeah.
Or Deborah, whatever the fucking name is. You know, but the woman I found out was the one doing all the teaching. And he was the motherfucking mindless sycophant reading the word, and the bitch was doing the breakdown. I'm like, nah, hold on, man.
Yeah.
Nah. And then another thing that didn't adhere to the scriptures, that didn't mess with my soul, was they wasn't out on the street corners reaching their lives and their freedom to spread the truth of the gospel. Because I understood gang sets, you know, and gangs and all that old shit, and how the Christians were separate from the Pharisees, who were separate from the Sadducees, and those of the what they call of the Nazarenes, the sect of the Nazarenes, right? Because they were going off of Yahweh Hamashiach of Nazareth, right? So they were calling Paul, Barnabas, and the apostles the sect of the Nazarenes. So they were sects, gang sects, you know what I'm saying? But they were all preaching different doctrines, which were sowing confusion amongst the people. Same thing back then, it's the same thing happening now. Same shit. Nothing changes. History repeats itself. You know, you got the biblical scripture where you got Second Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Second Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Because I mean, these people are fucking insane over there at Genesis. These Genesis Israelites, man. They going around trying to save the motherfucking nations, which didn't make any sense because when they were a part of Sakari before Pegatron got busted wide open by his woman, okay, or women started snitching on him about being a Pegatron, about his innate sexual desire to be penetrated like a woman, goddamn grown ass man, right? These individuals at Genesis Israelites, when that wickedness came out about their leader, Gorilla Hebrew, you know, they decided to make their own. They decided to make their own, at their own sect, and call themselves Genesis Israelites. I guess they just want to start all over, right?
They ended up selling out too.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up selling out as well. The only group that teach you the 100% truth, that don't give a shit about how you feel about it, about your emotional standpoint and your feelings, because it's not about your feeling and how you feel, what you think. Don't nobody give a damn about that. It's about what's written in the Holy Scripture, okay? And with the proper breakdown, so this way you can understand it, because you have to understand the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is there in the foundations of water. You have to understand that, who he is, because clearly you people ain't got no fucking clue, okay? And so you have to understand that the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua does not change. He chose one people above all nations upon the face of the earth. He didn't choose everybody. If that was the case, how is Romans what is it? I think it's no. What was it? I think it was Romans. No, it was Romans chapter 14, verse 11, where it says, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Well, how's every knee gonna bow if everybody's gonna be saved? Nobody needs to bow. Okay? There's gonna be slaves in the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be here on earth. Like if you go to Ezekiel chapter 37, we're gonna just yeah. Go ahead and read 2 Peter
1.
Yeah, 2 and 1. Go ahead. We'll start there, man.
It says, but there was false prophets among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord.
That's all good.
Even denying the Lord that bought them.
Right, and that's exactly what they're doing. They deny, okay, Yahushua HaMashiach. Pretty soon they're going to do like IUIC doing and start calling on Jesus Christ on the bench. That's what they're going to do next. I guarantee it, they ain't got nothing else to go to, man. Lousy motherfuckers, man. They'll sit up there. It's like they don't care, man, about their own soul salvation. They don't. It's crazy. Let's see. A prayer for curses, for deliverance. Right? Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushua. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahushua. Barakatah Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Ba'ashem Rahawakakatash. Shalak Bahar. Mashapat. Al-Kal Adawamyam. Wa Azanawa. Ba Yaquab Tazar. Babakusha, 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 Tawara, Amen. Send swift judgment on all Edomites and deliver us in Jacob's trouble. Thank you. Please, 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 thank you. So let it be done. I had to put a curse against these goddamn Edomite Caucasians, man, because they honestly believe that they're going to walk right off into the kingdom of heaven and have a joint rulership with us. Ain't going to happen. Okay? You goddamn crackers ain't going to get no rulership position with us. You're going to have individuals who are Israelites, whose bloodline goes back to an Israelite man, okay, that look like you goddamn Edomite Caucasians, whose great-grandfather was a Negro, or a great-grandfather was one of the 12 tribes. One of the Indians from Levi might have been from Benjamin from the West Indies. He might have been a Puerto Rican. He might have been a Cuban. That great-great-grandfather, or great-grandfather, because it goes back to 3 to 4 generations. See? So you got some of these Caucasians that look like Edomites, these Caucasians, but their bloodline go back to the 12 tribes. Yeah. The 12 tribes are all melanated people. But after intermingling, their seed line and busting another that white chick, the baby gonna come out with blonde hair, blue eyes. Well, that baby, he gonna bust his nut in another white chick and get whiter and whiter. You see what I'm saying?
That's what you get when it comes to these Italians. Remember, Tazariak, he was disenchanting this Italian Jake. All right, and he sound on the phone. He sounded just like a black man. I thought he was black from the way he was talking, like a Judite man. All right, but now he was. I guess he was a white Italian, but he didn't sound like it, man. But and also his zeal and his hope for this truth. All right, for the Bible proves that he's an Israelite. You know, so try telling that to Captain Tazariak, man. You know, he's a carnal Israelite man. You know, judging by the outer appearance. Does not the Lord say, man judges the outer appearance of the man, but the Lord judges the inner man? You know, your spirit, who you are, if you're an Israelite or not, you know? It's like, brother, I was just.
That's all good, man.
Because that shit pissed me off. I was low-key sad. I almost shed a tear when I heard that interview or that phone call Tazariak and that Italian man. I'm like, man, I just wish he ran into the brothers of Great Millstone instead of us. I mean,
Right.
instead of him.
He ran into Tazariak. Tazariak, that motherfucker, he took the bag. Yeah, check it out, man. Keep going. Yeah, go keep going, man. People out here tripping about these signs I got out here, man. See, they tripping. They don't get it. Because they believe Jesus loves everybody, no matter, and let them continue in their wickedness, smoking weed, getting high, getting drunk, and all this other goddamn bullshit. And God loves you anyway. He gonna forgive you anyway. You gonna go to heaven anyway. This is what the fucking Christian church believe, and this is what all the rest of these individuals is misleading the people to believe the same shit. Which is a lie. The Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh chose one people above all nations upon the face of the earth. He didn't choose everybody. He didn't choose everybody. He chose one nation, like it says in Matthew, that he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who he was sent to. He wasn't sent to every goddamn nation. If every knee, like I said before at the beginning of the video, if every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess, then and everybody can be saved, who's going to bow? Who's going to confess? They ain't got nothing to confess. See, it don't make no motherfucking sense. And then Genesis Israelites that broke off from Sakari and the Pegatron and Guerrilla Hebrew, the Pegatron, that's what they preaching now. That all nations can be saved. You can't save all nations. It's bullshit. The only nation of people that's going to be saved are the 12 tribes. That's it. Everybody else is stuck here to get left here to be melted. Right? Get Romans chapter 14, verse 11. Let's see. That's all good. Yep. Romans chapter 14. Yeah, your hand gonna get cold, man. It's all right. Oh, man, good fast. Judgment. Somebody had a heart attack today or some shit, probably. People don't understand the Most High, man. Like it says in let me get it. Zephaniah. Damn, I turned right to it. Zephaniah. Chapter 3, verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Okay? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh is going to judge your ass 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we've been trying to tell you, it's time for you to turn around and repent before the Most High get here. Because clearly these Edomites are scared. They know something big is about to fucking jump off or they wouldn't be going down in them deep underground bunkers. You got Mark Zuckerberg, he done bought half of Hawaii. You got Sam Altman, he done bought the other half of motherfucking Hawaii, right? But they're part of the United States, so nuclear weapons are pointed at Hawaii. But they want to be in the water. They're building a deep underground bunker about 1.5 miles, 2 miles into the ground underneath the water. Okay? So they're thinking that they're going to be safe. They don't understand the earthquake is going to shake, rattle, and roll the earth and snap the earth in pieces. America going to get hit by so many thermonuclear missiles, it's going to bust off in 3 separate fucking pieces, man.
Us elect, when the Lord blesses us, those new bodies, those immortal bodies, we're going to be grabbing them out of their bunkers anyway. You know, we're going to be digging them out. You know, we're going to get those abilities to see exactly where they are on Earth. You know, and we're going to be getting them, grabbing them out of their freaking bunkers and throwing them head first into slavery. You know,
right?
So that they can't hide, man. You know, it's all for nothing.
Exactly. They think they just gonna walk right off into the kingdom of heaven. You ain't gonna walk off into the kingdom of heaven. You're goddamn lie. The kingdom of heaven is gonna be here on earth. Okay, we're gonna rule on the earth. Okay, ain't nothing can be done about that.
Over you heathens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay, witch. Ain't nobody trying to hear you waving at people. Okay. Yeah, read Romans chapter 14, verse 11.
It says, for it is written, as I live, said the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to Yahweh. So then every one of us shall give account of himself to Yahweh. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
Exactly. What is the stumbling block that these devils over there at Genesis Israelites is doing? They're saying that all nations can be saved. There's a stumbling block that causes confusion. Okay? I mean, what the hell, man? Who are these guys? You can't, all nations cannot be saved. Ain't gonna happen. Jesus does not love everybody. First off, the letter J was created 515-24 by John Giorgio Trusino. Before then, there was no name Jesus. Okay? The name Jesus is only 500 years old. If the man was crucified over 2,000 years ago, there's a gap of 1,500 years. His name ain't no fucking Jesus. So what is it? Okay? These Edomite Caucasians with that goddamn godless bullshit, trying to steal everything from everybody, man. They even want to steal the bloodline inheritance that was given by the Most High God to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then they're going to goddamn circumvent us and subjugate us into slavery and oppression and just take our birthright. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, lest any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. The motherfucker sold immortality in the kingdom of heaven for the modern day equivalent to a pot roast. Okay, that's what he did. He sold immortality in the kingdom of heaven for a pot roast, man.
I'm gonna put mine like on the side.
Okay, yeah, put it over here to the side like that, man. Yeah. Okay, that way it's getting both of us. Ain't no big deal. See what I'm saying? That way I think this camera down is here.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. I ain't trying to interrupt.
But like I said before, man, Genesis Israelites, along with Sakari, Sakari's pretty much dissolved now. They done started calling themselves Genesis now. IUIC, GOCC, all of these other false camps, you know, they're all teaching a false doctrine. GOCC is doing the same thing Genesis saying that GOCC says only blacks only black people can be saved, right? They're not thinking about the Gentiles. They don't even go into the prophecy of the Gentiles correctly. They forgot all about it. The Grecian captivity. The Bible, King James Version of the Bible, goes in from the Medo-Persian captivity straight into the Greco-Roman captivity and skip over the Grecians. Okay, that's the reason. That's how I was set up. So what we're trying to do is tell the people at 100% what's going on. Okay, Daniel chapter 2 verse 41. Yeah. You know, Nahum chapter 1 verse 2. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revenges and is furious. The Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he preserveth wrath for his enemies. If everybody can be saved, who's the goddamn enemies? Okay? You see, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. These guys are not making sense, man. If you're listening to Genesis or Sakari or GOCC, you are being misled deliberately and on purpose. The Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, is going to take care of you by leaving you here and melt you. Your ass don't get right. You're going to get right or you're going to get left. What you going to do? Okay? Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. What clouds? These Edomites are scared to death of these unidentified aerial phenomenon. What is his name? Lou Elizondo, okay, who used to work for a Space Force, okay, and the World Defense Force. He said that the UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, the UFOs, are between 50 and 1,000 years ahead of us in technology. Okay, I made a video about it, but the camera cut off on me. I was trying to record it. Okay. Right, Micah chapter 7, verse 16. The nations shall see and be confounded, and all their might they shall lay their hand upon their mouth, and their ears shall be deaf. From what? From the impact of these thermonuclear missiles, all going down in the deep underground bunkers and shit. They really think that they're just going to escape the judgment of the Most High. Ain't gonna happen. Okay? Somebody's got to be judged. Somebody's got to get their asses kicked. Okay? If all nations can be saved, then ain't nobody get no ass kicking.
We get our ass kicked, but what about you nations, man? Oh, we think we went through this and that. Whatever, man. Whatever.
You Edomite Caucasians ain't never been enslaved like us. Like it says in Daniel, because I'll go get proof. Daniel chapter 9. What? Yep. Daniel chapter 9, verse 9. To the Lord our God, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, our power, to walk in his ways, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Right? Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets by his servants, the prophets. So before the destruction of any kingdom, or before the Most High destroys all of these kingdoms, what he does is he sends forth his servants, the prophets, rising us up early in the morning and sending us to preach unto our people. But they won't listen. They hard-headed. They want to continue doing drugs and alcohol, smoking weed, fucking your brother's wife, having sex with your sister's husband. All of that bullshit. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. When we were enslaved, when we first came in here on slave ships, shrimp, crab, and lobster, possum, and pork was fed to us raw with maggots in it. Okay?
They knew what they were doing, man. They think about what they were doing, feeding us lobsters, shrimps, shit like that.
Exactly. They knew exactly what the fuck they were doing, feeding us that bullshit when they first brought us over here, man. That's the reason why the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to exterminate these animals. They got to go, man. Somebody's got to get their ass kicked. Somebody's got to be punished. Somebody's got to be judged for what was done unto the house of Israel. Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yep, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured out upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of Yahweh, because we have sinned against him. Verse 12, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. And this great evil was Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because of our apostasy of not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and worshiping false gods and idols that cannot see, hear, walk, talk, or anything else. Okay? Verse 12, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil. Okay, so he brought the evil upon us and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obey not his voice. Okay, let's go to the evil that he brought upon us. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt beat the tail. That is the evil that was brought upon us by the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is therein, and the foundation of water. Okay, right to this day, we still do not obey the voice of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, that's the reason why the Most High is destroying our people.
When we say by we, we're talking about Israelites outside of this truth, man. All right. Because we're obeying the words of the Lord, but even then we still fall off. But hey, we're obeying,
We're trying to do the best we can to keep the law, statutes, and commandments because we walk by faith, not by sight. Okay? So it's about faith. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 states, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, for by it the elders had good report. Who are our elders? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers of Israel. Remember, Jacob wrestled an angel, and the Most High came down, like it says in Genesis chapter 35, verse 9, okay, and changed his name from Jacob to Israel. Okay, and Israel had two wives. He had Rachel and Leah, who were the daughters of Laban, the Syrian, who was the brother of Rebekah, the wife of Isaac, the son of Abraham, friend to the Most High God. You see how all that genealogy went back to the Lord? Okay. And Jacob, the two wives that he had children by both of them. Each of the wives had a handmaid. So Jacob had 4 women. And out of those 4 women came the 12 sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. The whole house of Israel is going to be saved eventually, but only the elect remnant on this side. And they are intermingled with the heathen nations. The Gentiles, the letters that Paul wrote to the heathen nations were not to the heathen nations in general, but they were to the Israelites living among the heathen nations. Peter was to go to the circumcision. Paul was supposed to go to the uncircumcision. Why? Because the uncircumcision live in all the different nations in which Paul was a Pharisee and he was fluent in the languages of all the different heathen nations. And he knew who the Israelites were among the heathen nations. Understand?
That's what that means when it says there's no difference between Jew and Greek. All right, because you'll get Israelites that look like Greeks, and you'll get Israelites that look like natural Judites.
Right. Now, at that time back then, they were also intermingled, but they were just pretty much dark skinned and melanated because there was no shade. It was 130 degrees in the shade
Yeah,
out there
Yeah,
back then.
suck you, but but I bet you, Edomites in general were darker back then. At least slightly darker. You know,
Yeah, they was bright red.
yeah,
See what I'm saying? Every time, they had to cover up when they were in the deep desert. They had to find a place of shelter from direct sunlight. And the only place of direct shelter from direct sunlight was a cave. Now you understand why Esau is the so-called white man, and we call him the fucking caveman. Okay? The cave woman is the cave bitch. Okay?
but that's why they like Europe so much, and those the cold areas, especially Europe, because they barely get any sun. You know,
Right. They love that type of climate.
cold.
It's cold outside.
They wear t-shirts or they don't got no shirt on, wearing shorts and sandals.
Yeah, go swimming out there in motherfucking 10 to 15 degrees below zero.
It's not hot out here. Yeah, it is, motherfucker. Crazy. No, actually, you're an Edomite.
They go out and stand outside with a bucket of water and pour the water out and make ice sculptures with water, just pouring it out in the motherfucking air, man.
They cold. They cold.
They don't have a problem. They be out there on that shit all day.
Mm-hmm.
They crazy, man. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, Yahweh, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Why? Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. Right? Now, if all nations can be saved, right, which includes our enemies, who's going to bow down to Yahweh Shah HaMashiach? Right? We just went over in Romans chapter 14, every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bow, right? If our enemies can say it, nobody needs to bow down and nobody needs to confess, right? Nobody gets their ass kicked. Esau Edom gets a free pass. This is what Genesis is pushing, which is bullshit. That's the reason why the monkey motherfuckers are going to be destroyed here pretty soon by the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, by the spirit of his mouth, by the word of his doctrine of the prophecy. For the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, right? So these being like it says in 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1 and 2, it breaks it down.
Get that.
So, yeah, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. All over again, no big deal. I'll drive them to the ground. I don't have a problem with it.
2 Peter 2:1.
Yeah.
It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who probably shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Exactly. Look what happened to Shikari. It took a little bit, okay, but it happened swiftly, all at once, in one day. Bitch made a video and destroyed the nigga's whole camp. Okay.
All downhill from there, man.
It was all downhill from there.
And then what do you call it? What's his name? Pegatron and he was talking to I don't know, I think they did a podcast or something with Genesis, or they were talking shit. They were going back and forth talking shit about each other, and Pegatron was like, yeah, you know, what's his name? Not Hassad, but the other brother, Hakah, was he was doing the same shit, you know, allegedly, you know, coming out of Pegatron's mouth, he said, you know, Hakah was, you know, he was doing the same shit, you know. But hey, time will tell. The Lord, He's gonna shine everything that's done in the dark will come out to the light, you know.
Sure will.
You know, and hey, did they say back then, Hassad and Hakah, they were trying to refute Paul's writings, but they couldn't, you know. And here they are, going against the truth, man. Are bringing out all nations can be saved, so they can get the bag, you know.
Yep.
The Lord is revealing the hearts and the intentions of men, you know, it's wicked men. All right. As time goes by, these men will wax worse and worse and worse until they end up finding themselves, you know, in the lake of fire, the nuclear missiles. Okay. So yeah, man.
Okay. Go to Daniel chapter 2, verse 41.
Daniel chapter 2. Chapter 2.
Yeah. Daniel chapter 2. See, that was the evil that I talked about in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11 to 13. Okay, that's the evil that came upon us, was the curses of Deuteronomy. This is the same warning that Abraham, not Abraham, but Moses gave us. Okay, it was the same warning. And Deuteronomy chapter 30, I think it is, where he told us to choose life. Choose this day whom ye shall serve. Right? Choose life. But our people didn't choose it. That's the reason why we're suffering the curses right to this day, man. Okay? We trying to tell you this to your face. People walk past us, drive past us, you know, talking shit, which is all good.
Even in the old covenant, man, the Lord gave us a way to escape, you know, punishment. You know, it was the animal sacrifice, but our people still abused it and found a way to to transgress and be literally, you know, bad little children, man. Bad little children towards the Lord, man. You know, and here we are in the times of the mediation, times of grace. We're not in the new covenant, but the times of grace. All right, our people are still finding ways to transgress, man. The Lord has given us a grace period, and our people are throwing it away, man.
Yeah, you know? They're throwing it the fuck away, man. It's like they're committing suicide or something. Mm-hmm. You know, why would you want to have joint rulership with a motherfucker that'll hang your grandpa from a fucking tree? We had a confrontation with one of them Edomite Caucasians a couple of weeks ago when we was up under the Indian. Tall ass Edomite, a Vietnam veteran. He didn't have a problem going into Vietnam and stealing people's natural resources and raping their women. He didn't have a problem with it. And he thought he was doing good. He thought he was being righteous. Right? And then when we broke it down, he wanted to take off because we started to confront him on his evil and wickedness and what the fuck he had done. He honestly believed that he was righteous in his doing of what America told him to do. Back in the 1960s at the national draft and the war in the Vietnam War. He honestly believed that shit. Okay? But I had to break it down to him saying, no, hold on now. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
Daniel chapter 2 and 41, it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Verse 42, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with the miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Exactly. So that's exactly what these heathen nations have done. They split apart. Have one foot with toes mixed with iron and miry clay. The iron is the nuclear weapons in their military, and the miry clay is debt. Then you have Russia that got debt and miry clay and their nuclear weapons through the BRICS. And then miry clay, yeah, see, that's that lunatic. Talking shit, talking about, no way, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see him in the background over here talking to himself? Y'all see him back there? Yeah, he got all kinds of goddamn demons on you, man. You know what I mean?
This truth attracts demons, man.
Yeah. This truth attracts demons.
All walks of life,
levels.
demons.
But like I said before, I put these signs, I made so many of these signs out here, okay, as a fishing net. Because like it says in Jeremiah chapter 16, that I will send forth many fishers. Yahweh said, I will make thee fishers of men. Right? And so this is my fishing net, you know, to grab people's attention, to make them come over here and inquire at the mouthpiece of the Lord, which are his servants, the prophets. Right? That's the purpose of it. Okay, it's not a gimmick. It's to get these motherfuckers' attention, because a lot of these people don't even know what the mark of the beast is. If right behind me is a sign that tells you what the mark of the beast is. You know, it's the RFID microchip. It says you cannot, I repeat, you cannot repent after having received it. See what I'm saying? So if you take that RFID NFC chip, you fucked in the game. And this is what they pushing. So this is what we're out here trying to preach and tell our people and get them ready for next year, because they're going to push that shit 100% next year. This RFID microchip. A lot of people don't know that. They're going to do away with cash. They got to get rid of the shit. Don't nobody want to do business with America no more because of the tariffs. But that was done deliberately and on purpose. So this way they could bring in a better system of control. The beast system. Okay? Bred by the beast. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. The devil the Bible speaks of. Okay? Our job is to preach down the walls of Babylon the Great, which is America. We don't have any weapons. We're not Muslims. We don't do all of that stupid bullshit. That's not what we do. Our weapons are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh to the pulling down of the stronghold, casting down all imaginations into the obedience of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Roughly paraphrase, the Bible, an instruction manual, Bible, basic instruction before leaving earth. This is our weapon. This is a spiritual weapon. Like it said in that one movie, Book of Eli, the one Edomite was talking about. It's not a book, it's a weapon. This is our weapon. It's a spiritual power. Okay? And it affects the minds and hearts of men. Like it says in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12.
Okay.
See?
Remember that Edomite, he opened the book because he actually found the book. He got the book in his hands. He opened the book. He was looking through it, and there was nothing in it. You know?
Right.
He's like, what? What? It's because, hey, that's spiritual saying, you know, and these Edomites, they don't get it. They don't understand this book, man. All right, they can read it top to bottom, bottom to top, until they're blue in the face, but they will never understand what's actually being said in this book.
Right. They'll never understand it because they don't understand the history of the characters in the book. If they understood the history of the characters in the book, they would have a better understanding of who is who in the book. And then they would understand their latter end.
And really, ultimately, this isn't their blessing. The understanding of this beautiful book was given unto his chosen, his prophets, his men, which are Israelites. It don't matter what they look like, you know?
Right? It's all about the spirit. Because like it says, we tried, verse it says, the spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Okay? So we have to try the spirit by the spirit because we don't know who an Israelite is now. They're all intermingled and intermixed. That was a clever deception by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man back then. The mystery of iniquity that was already at work at that time, that was intermingling the bloodline of the Israelites with the heathen nations. That was the fucking plan. That way Esau Edom could hide his bloodline in the body with the outward appearance of an Israelite. You have Edomites that look like Israelites. Okay, their great grandfather is a white man. You have a lot of our people that look like Negroes today, but their great grandpa is a fucking Peckerwood.
Yeah. We can find out. We can find out. We know. All right, and not by appearance, but by the spirit.
Right. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 11. Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Okay? And that's what we're trying to implore people to do. Oh, is go with us, enter into the rest. Okay? Which is the biblical scriptures. Okay? The truth of the Holy Bible. That rest being that you have the faith of being an Israelite. It's all about faith. Okay? It has nothing to do so much so as the law, as it used to. Because Yahweh Shah HaMashiach gave us an unction from the Holy One by shedding his blood to cover the elect on this side. Our job is just to find the elect. That's it. Okay? Fuck everybody else. They ain't going nowhere. They're going to be left here and punished. Okay? They're going to be left here and melted. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and to the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Okay? So that's what we're out here to do. But the thoughts and intents of the heart. Right? Let me go to what was it? Psalm. We'll go to Psalms. Brother, read Isaiah chapter 1, verses 2. Yeah. Isaiah chapter 1, verses 2 through 9. Okay. I don't look too far. I'm trying to find a good song for sale. Okay. In the meantime, while you're trying to find Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. Okay. You got it? Okay, go ahead.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his own, and his ass his master's crib, but Israel, Yasharallah, does not know. My people does not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint.
Yeah, you know.
I should right here.
No shit.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Psalms chapter 126, verse 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. And that's what we're doing right now. We dreaming. You got the brother Manatazak Banyamyan, 144. He puts videos out all the time about the dreams that we be having, okay, and fantasies about having spiritual power, the ability to fly, the ability to run and not be weary, to walk and not faint. Like it says in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 28. You see what I'm saying?
What's his channel?
Manatazak Banyamyan, 144.
The edits.
Yeah, he be doing the little cartoons. You know, What spiritual power?
I think it's talking about the channel. I think it's from the testimonials.
GMS testimonials.
Yeah, GMS joint testimony.
Oh yeah.
I think I lost it. They got a third one or a second one now.
I probably got it on my subscriptions. I'll send it to you once I can find it. Okay. Okay. Where was we at? Oh, Psalms 126, verse 2. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue was singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. Verse 3. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south, that they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. And that's what we hope for. That's all we can hope for at this point. Psalms 124, verse 1. If it had not been for the Lord who was on our side, verse 2. If it had not been up for the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Okay? Now, these Edomites' wrath was kindled against us by coming against us to destroy us. Like I just read it in Deuteronomy chapter 28, where our enemies had overwhelmed us. They came up to destroy us. Elder Malcolm got a video on his channel, okay, about our people fighting against the Edomite Caucasians. Edomite Caucasians, taller, bigger and shit, coming at us. We had spears, okay, us, but they were just bigger and stronger than us. Okay, plus in addition, at that time, they were cavemen. They were beating at us and clubbing us to death. Okay, Elder Malcolm got on his channel, the GMS, what is it? Critical facts, what is it?
Is it a recent video?
Yeah.
Check it out. Okay.
Critical history.
Critical historical. It was critical race.
Yeah, critical race historical facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I Salakia Elder Malcolm, if you're watching, I messed up on that. But yeah, man, I watched all your channels, man. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even know what an Edomite was today. or any of the bullshit that they had done to us, man. I ain't no way. I wouldn't know nothing. I'd be like the rest of these motherfuckers out here, walking by, riding by, talking shit, scoffing, mocking. All them niggas is crazy. Wearing a goddamn a curtain rod. Wearing his mama's dress. Talking shit, you know.
If you need a historical seat on this devil, hey, not about it, you know.
Yeah.
Subscribe to his channels.
GMS, yep, GMS Maccabean Spirit Bar, and critical race historical facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he got another channel, just Malcolm.
Yeah.
Okay. I suggest that you go to the brother's channel and subscribe, because you know that gets the brother helps him out. You know what I'm saying? And plus this that you get edified, and you'll be able to know the difference and learn the spirit of discernment from the brother Malcolm, to know the difference between right and wrong. Right? Psalm 121, verse 2. My help cometh from the Lord, which made the heaven and the earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Verse 7. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. And that's what we hope for. Okay? That's all we got. Other than that, we're going to be swallowed up quick by these goddamn Edomite devils next year, between 2026 and 2027, because they're finna push this marker of the beast microchip 100%. They're finna do away with cash money. They got to. They got to get the shit done within the next 600 to 840 days. Okay, that's what, two and a half years. So they got to get that shit done in the next 2.5 years before 2030. So this way they can meet their 2030 agenda. Okay? And the people they want to get moved out of the way are the Israelites. Those of us that know the truth. That's what they want to do. Psalm 124, verse 6, blessed be the Lord who hath not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, who made the heaven and earth. Okay? That's the name of the Lord. That's his holy name. That's the Hebrew name of the Most High God that created the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is therein, and the foundation of water. It ain't got a fucking thing to do, okay, with the law. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong, not one jot or one tittle of the law shall pass away from the law till all be fulfilled. The only law that was actually fulfilled was the law of sacrifice, that Yahweh shed his blood for the elect, remnant seed of Zion, the memorial of Israel here in these last days.
And even then, you know, we don't sacrifice an actual, animal, lamb.
We don't need to do that no more.
We sacrifice the perfect lamb, Yahweh Shai, and that's a spiritual thing, you know. All right. So even then, not one jot, not one tittle. That law is not done away with. All right. We're using Yahweh Shai now, not an actual animal. Okay.
Right. And we try to tell the people that they think we full of shit. You know?
So hey, if you're a mo, if you're a man and you cut your rod off, or you like other men, sexually, hey, you're gonna be punished, man. All right, quit that shit.
Oh, okay. Real shit.
You're gonna be stoned, or you're gonna be unalive, man. You're gonna be burnt. Not now, but it's gonna happen. So hey, the laws are not done away with, man. Okay, go ahead.
Right, that's all good. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. Verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. Okay? The Lord standeth up to plead and standeth to judge his people. Okay? So that's what the Messiah have us do. Okay? Is I got us out here standing up for the righteousness of our people. Right? Right? Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. But you can't tell a Christian that shit. They'll say God love everybody. No, he doesn't. You Edomites have been excluded from that salvation.
The Lord, it literally says it in the same Bible that Esau is profane. Okay, that there's nothing more profane than Esau.
Right.
And we all know what profane means. It means outside of the temple.
And the temple of the Most High God on this earth in these latter days are his people.
It's true.
His inheritance. Okay? The inheritance of the Most High God are the Israelites of the 12 tribes. Okay? His temple are the Israelites of the 12 tribes.
That don't sound like love. That sounds like separation and hate. You know? Yeah, the Lord hates, man. All right. And are we not on the same frequency? The same mentality as King David. And King David said he's a man after the Lord's heart, after his mind. So we hate Edomites too.
Hell yeah. That's the reason why the Edomites in Christian church, they don't teach about King David. They hate King David because it says in the biblical scriptures that King David set garrisons around the Mount Seir and he put them in prison. So all of these Edomite Caucasians and these goddamn redneck devils, okay, King David put in prison. When the people yelled after them as after a thief, right? Stop thief! Stop thief! What do you think John chapter 10, verse 10 is telling you? The thief cometh not before to steal, kill, and to destroy. That's the reason why King David put their ass and set garrisons and put their ass back at Mount Seir in prison and set garrisons, which would be military stations around Mount Seir.
If we're gonna do that in the kingdom,
Exactly.
in a perfect world, hey, that's what King David did to the Edomites back in the day. Is what it should happen to the Edomites now. But it's not gonna happen until the king has the power to do so. Because hey, this devil, he needs to be in prison. He needs to be enslaved. And ruled over, man. Because look at the world right now. This is a world where the Edomite, the so-called white man, runs shit. All right, it's a polluted world, suffering, death all over the fucking place. The air, the water is polluted. Suffering. You know, if you don't see the wickedness, how that this world is upside down for the wrong, hey man, you gotta be the stupid witness of it. All right,
Got to be. Okay.
if you're sick, you're sick in the mind, man. If you believe that this world is right, is okay, that the way that the white man has the world going right now is okay and it's good because God loves everybody. That universal is a bullshit. This the product of the universal doctrine and belief. Love everybody. You know, it's not one time in history has that happened where a kingdom or the world sent laws and ways where hey we should all come together and love each other. Besides, like the time of the Temple of Babel, the Tower of Babel, I mean, what happened right when it got too high? The Lord destroyed it. That's not what the Lord wants. The Lord doesn't want everybody to come together under one agreement. And, hey, the Lord is a separatist. All right.
Yeah, he set up a separation of the kingdoms at the Tower of Babel. Okay, he separated everybody back then.
Changed everybody's language and tongue to speak something different.
Right, because he wanted to make a distinct difference between all of the nations, because he wanted the Israelites to rule above all nations upon the face of the earth, like it says in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Okay, yeah, get it. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. He wanted Israelites above all nations. You see, they don't teach that at church.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6, it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, the Lord thy God, Yahweh."
Yeah, Elam. Yep, that's right.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
Motherfuckers out there, they get nervous when they see a black man and a Latino with fringes on. Them motherfuckers from foreign nations, they get scared. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah.
And Persians, ancient
Yeah. Modern day Persians. Elam. Yeah, they scared to death.
They used to be mighty back then. Now look at them,
Right?
But verse 6 again. All right, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. "For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." All right.
Keep going.
The Lord did not set his love upon you or choose you because you are more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all, but because the Lord loves you, and because he would keep the oath that he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Exactly. See? So the thing about the Most High brought us, the Israelites, out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. He didn't bring a bunch of goddamn heathens with him. And if they did, they were subjugated to indentured servitude and enslavement under the Israelites. They had it all poured through their nose, through their ear, or through their body part to show their allegiance to the Israelites if they were strangers living amongst us. Okay? Meaning that they wanted to willingly be a participant of the teachings, okay, and what was going on with the Israelites at that time as strangers that traveled and traversed with us through the desert. They were married, okay.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. They were married to us, and they had an awl bored through their nose or through their ear to show their loyalty to the Israelites. These strangers were part of the heathen nations that had intermarried to the women of the Israelites, or to the men that had married strangers, strange women of the heathen nations. Okay? And they had a nose ring or ear rings bored through to show their allegiance to the Israelites. So these individuals are the strangers, okay? Because our people, and based on the fact that they're strangers, their bloodlines goes back several generations in their family to being actual full-blooded Israelites. Remember, the Israelites were in the desert for 40 years. When we left out of Israel, out of Egypt, what was like 650, close to 1,000,000 people, okay, that left. We went in there were 75 souls that went into Egypt, and when we came out, it was an innumerable multitude. Okay? That's what y'all need to understand about the strangers. But Genesis is trying to say that the motherfucking heathens that sojourned with us in the desert, that came out with us out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, okay, these individuals can also receive salvation. Okay? What they're not explaining to you is that those heathen were Israelites as well. Because even though our people had been scattered amongst the heathen nations, they were regarded, okay, as heathen, but they were Israelites. That's the reason why I said at the beginning of the video that Paul went to the uncircumcision. They were Israelites that lived among the heathen nations. It was the same that the heathen nations that were subjugated to indentured servitude and enslavement under the Egyptians. It was the same thing. The Egyptian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Persian captivity, the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity, and now the American captivity. The Israelites have been in 7 separate captivities, goddammit. And we try to tell you and try to explain this to you, that in all these captivities, our people were scattered, bought and sold to different heathen nations in the world through the different captivities that we were in. So when they tried to come back as devout people, believing that they were the bloodline Israelites of the Holy Bible, they were called by the heathen nations in which they had been living in. Did that make sense? Okay. That's what Genesis is trying to say, that all the heathen of these nations can be saved, along with the Israelites that live there. And they're sewn in with the confusion. Right? Anyway, I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation, and upon the mountains of Israel and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations. Right now, the Israelites have been split into two separate nations. Okay? You have Ephraim, the stick of Ephraim, and his companions, and then you have the stick of Judah and my companions. Okay, and we're being put back together in one stick as one people all together as Israelites. You see that? The brother comes from Ephraim.
Do I look like a black man?
Right? I come from Judah. We are prophecy personified.
This ain't no black thing, you know.
Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with a black only Israelite thing. Okay, it's a Hebrew Israelite thing. This is a spiritual thing. This is a family bloodline inheritance.
That the bloodline, that blood that's carried through the father's lineage, that's what carries the spirit of a man. Okay.
I first came into the truth, I didn't understand that. And I was trying to explain that to my wife, but hell, I didn't understand it fully myself.
It's kind of complicated, but once you get it, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because you have to know the history of what happened, which caused the scattering in the first place. That's the reason why the Christian church says that the law has been done away with. You see? It doesn't make any sense. Right?
Because hey, this ancestry.com, those DNA tests, all right, they don't go based off of your father's lineage. It goes based off of like your blood type, your phenotype, what you look like, and like your DNA and whatnot, man. Which has nothing to do with your father's lineage. But the Bible, the Lord says through the pedigrees of your fathers. Okay, because what man, your father is the one that carries the seed, that gives the seed. A woman doesn't carry, well, she bears the seed.
Right.
Okay.
She conceives seed.
You know,
To conceive means to be made pregnant. So she's being made pregnant by the seed. The man carries the seed in the testicles, the testes, the balls. Okay? That's where the seed is located in a man. The woman does not carry the seed. She conceives the seed, being made pregnant by the seed. Okay? What the fuck? We gotta take you to sexual sex class 101? They used to teach that shit in the 5th grade. Damn, you don't get it? People are retarded. Anyway, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. Who is that shepherd? Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? Okay. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Right now, it is impossible to keep the law, statutes, and judgments of the Most High God because we are in terrestrial flesh. That terrestrial flesh is what separates us from the Most High God in heaven. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
And we're behind enemy lines. We're in a strange land under strange heathen laws. So it's even more impossible, you know?
Right. But see, we are in the chains of darkness right now, in terrestrial flesh, prone to sin. The sin that our flesh commits every day is what separates us from the Lord. But through faith and the blood of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, we have an unction from the Holy One through Yahweh Shai's blood that allows us a bridge to go back to keeping the law, statutes, and commandments by faith, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That is what gives us an unction from the Holy One. I think it is in Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. There's yeah, my hands are getting cold too.
I'm here at 8.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'll tell you where it's at. Hold on. Romans chapter 8. Verse 18.
Okay.
Romans 8 and 18.
It says, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God, Yahweh. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of Yahweh."
Right, see? So once we've been delivered from the bondage of corruption, which is this terrestrial flesh, it you got your apocrypha? The apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 25. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 25. Second Ezra, man. Second Ezra, thank you. Yeah, Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 25.
Okay. It says, "Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world, and the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and he is like it, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning."
Exactly. We're going to be changed into another meaning of what it means to be mortal. We shall become immortal. Okay, and instead of being terrestrial flesh, the bondage of corruption, the chains of darkness, which chains us to the sins, okay, which is transgression of the law, is going to be changed into extraterrestrial. We should be changed into another meaning. Read it again. That point where it says, the men that shall have not seen death, verse 25.
6, it says, "And the men that are received shall see it, who hath not tasted death from their birth, and the hearts of the inhabitants shall be changed," okay, "and turned into another meaning."
So we're going to be changed from terrestrial to extraterrestrial and from mortal to immortality.
From a stony heart to a heart of flesh.
Of flesh, exactly. Okay, so we're going to have, because see, right now, the reason why we have stony hearts, okay, and filled with unbelief is because the law was given to us by Moses on stone tablets. Okay? And what we try to do is we try to explain that as best we can to those that have an ear, that have a heart and ears willing to hear. Okay? This truth is not for everybody. That's the reason why everybody cannot be saved. The only people that are going to be saved are Israelites. And Israelites have been scattered into all nations and the nations of all people speaking all languages. And their bloodline and seed have been intermingled with the women of the heathen nations. And so the children, the progeny, come back looking like the heathen nations. Okay? Right? Romans chapter 8, verse 24. For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope But what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? Right? So faith is hope. Faith, the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Make sense now? So we hope for salvation. Because if we knew we were going to get the salvation with confidence and arrogance, then there would be no humility. Because we must first have humility, okay, in order to receive the crown of rejoicing, the crown of immortality. To receive the fruit of the tree of immortality, we have to go through and be humiliated. Okay, a real life, full-time humiliation ritual. Okay, so we have to be humiliated. Romans chapter 8, verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. So we're minding the things of the spirit after the spirit. But you have Genesis, GOCC, ISUPK that mind the things of the flesh after the flesh. It's all about money. It's all about the root of all evil, the love of money. That is the root of all evil, not the money itself. You see? And so we try to tell you, but you don't understand it. When was the last time you picked up your Bible and read it with understanding? Never, probably. Okay? I'm so glad that the Most High gave me an unction. Okay? I'm so glad that the Most High Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua in his gracious and abundant mercy woke us up and gave us this truth. So this way we could get the salvation. Although our friends and family may not get it on this side because they don't believe as we believe. They don't have the faith necessary to receive the salvation that is coming and that they deserve.
Like, we gotta seek our own salvation with fear and trembling, you know?
Right.
Hey, we can't choose who's gonna serve Yahweh Bashim Yahshua with us. The Lord did. But hey, but knowing that our people, our loved ones, with us, all right, it may not make it into the kingdom the first go around. Hey, all we can say is, hey man, I'll consider it, man. You know,
Right. That's it.
they're all gonna be there.
Wait, man.
I was talking. They're all gonna be there, man. Your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your wife, and whatnot. Hey, they're all gonna be there, but in the right minds. All right.
Right. See? Romans chapter 8, verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So then, because the carnal mind is enemy with the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. So if you're carnally minded and it's all about the bag and all about trying to get some money, then you're against the Most High. That's the reason why all of these other camps are teaching all this miscellaneous bullshit, which is a lie, saying that all nations can be saved and Jesus Christ loves everybody. See, it's a lie, man. They get paid off. They're part of the 501c3 tax exempt status. Okay, that's what that's all about. They took the bag, like Judas Iscariot, and sold their own people down the fucking street. Right?
The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, he ain't dealing with no get the bag Israelites, man. All about the bag, you know. You know.
Right. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh, to them that are called, that are the called according to his purpose. for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. So the only people that are going to get out of here are the Israelites, and only those individuals that are predestinated for salvation, that are justified by the Holy Spirit. It doesn't have anything to do with what you look like. Go ahead.
It says, in whom he glorified. All right. So these Jakes, these Israelites outside of this truth, all right, and just Israelites in general outside of this truth, man, they're glorifying themselves. They're not let the Lord glorify them, you know. They're not, they're not glorifying themselves in the Lord. They're glorifying themselves, man, before the Lord, which is wickedness, man.
Right.
They're not waiting patiently for Yahushua's return so we can be glorified together, like the scriptures say.
Right? Like I said before, verse 31, Romans chapter 8, verse 31. What shall we say to these things? If the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not be with him? How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifies. Who is he that condemneth? It is Hamashiach that died, yet brother, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Yahweh, who also maketh intercession for us. Verse 35, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. Okay? Not all nations. He loved us, meaning the Israelites. The Most High loves us. He doesn't love everybody. All nations will not be saved. They will be preserved for slaves. Of that you can be certain. For I am persuaded neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come. Right? What's things to come? Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation. That is a thing to come, a black swan event. All they need is an excuse. Okay? Right? Nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, our Lord. Okay? So we're going to keep on telling you, we're going to keep on telling you until eventually you get it. Okay? And then I'm going to close out because it's getting kind of cold. My hands is out here. Okay? My hands is cold. I know the brother you call's hands is cold. I think we've been out here about an hour and a half. We ain't even been out here 2 hours yet. But this cold is biting us, man. Okay.
I gotta face this one because even that little slight breeze is getting
right.
I gotta. Yeah.
Okay, Ezekiel.
That sun does wonders though. It's like
okay, that's all good. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 23. Okay, let's start at 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, And they shall no more be two nations, neither shall be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. And David, my servant, shall be their king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, and it shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. My tabernacle also shall be with them. What is the tabernacle of the Most High? His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay? And yeah, I will be their power, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel. So right there, there's a difference between the heathen and the Israelites, whom the Most High chose to be justified, glorified, and sanctified here in these latter days. Make sense? Okay? And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel with my sanctuary. I'll say it again. When my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. It says the same thing in the book of Revelation. Where is it? 22. I think it is. It's in 21. It might be. Right. Revelation chapter 21, verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem. That New Jerusalem are the elect. That elect are those individuals who shall be changed into another meaning. That should be changed from corruption to incorruption, from mortal to immortality, who shall eat from the tree of immortality. Okay? They are the New Jerusalem, because the New Jerusalem, remember, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Okay? And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So we're going to be dressed in white with gold trim, with badass clothes, right? And I heard a great voice of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai himself, shall be with them and be their God. And Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Whose eyes? Them, the Israelites, the New Jerusalem, those that are sanctified, justified, and glorified by the Most High God, predestinated to this salvation. Okay? And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And these things are what we look for: the new heaven and the new earth that shall be on earth as it is in heaven, in the Lord's Prayer in Matthew chapter 6. Okay? Okay. Acts. Get Acts chapter 1, verse 7. Verse 6. Salaki. And I'm gonna go get Proverbs. I'm gonna just go through all the rest of these biblical scriptures quick. Because boy, it is getting cold out here, man.
Acts chapter 1, verse 6.
1 verse 6. Acts 1 verse 6.
When they therefore were come together.
Hold up, man. Why you want to listen to the words of the Most High God with a cigarette in your hand? Oh, did you hear that shit? It ain't a cigarette, it's a blunt.
Cackling. Look.
See? 2/3 of our people have to be cut off and die on this side because of their incredulity, their unbelief. They want to hear the words of the Most High God, but they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. They want to hear the words of the Most High God, but they will not do them. Right? Go ahead, finish reading, bro.
They not laughing at us, man. If they not laughing at us, they laughing at the Lord, man.
Right.
To his face. No, we're not saying we're the Lord. We're saying the Spirit of the Lord.
Right.
The Lord,
and we're up here, we represent him.
He's ambassadors, man. All right. In Acts 1 and 6, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel? And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you. Ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all of Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
Right.
And while they
right, and see that cloud that received Yahushua up out of their sight was what there's called an unidentified aerial phenomenon, or what these Edomite Caucasians called a UFO. Okay, it was covered by cloud. Okay, these Edomite, like I said before, Lou Elizondo said that these unidentified aerial phenomenon that look like clouds are 1,000 years ahead of us in technology. How they can dart and go forth and stop on a dime. They can go from one end of the country to the other in less than 10 seconds. They're from California to New York in 10 seconds. Okay? They can stop and go the other direction.
Those are spiritual abilities that Esau doesn't have, man. He can't come up with technology that does that.
Right?
And 1,000 years is just him putting a number on it. Because he'll never get to that point.
It's all good. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. Okay, and let me go over here to Proverbs chapter 29. Get out of song myself. Verse 1. Proverbs 29, verse 1. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. Okay, so 2/3 of our people got to be cut out, man. They hard-headed, arguing and fussing and making fun of the Lord, making light of his men out here risking their life and freedom to spread the truth of the gospel, talking shit, talking about it's not a cigarette, it's a blunt. Thinking that shit is funny. I know y'all heard it in the background. Okay, let me go over here to Proverbs chapter 10.
She was like, was that a fight?
I don't know, man.
We can't even tell,
Like I said before, our people are changing of kind. The men are changing places with the women, and the women are changing places with the men. Transhumanism, transgenderism, all of this shit is a vexation of soul and spirit. What the fuck? Every time you turn around, you think you're looking at a dude, it's a fucking chick. Or if you're looking at a chick, it's a fucking dude.
Woe to them that laugh now, because they're gonna born later, man. All right, they're gonna be destroyed by fire.
Right?
Because that's the judgment for somebody that's like that. Fire. Burn them up with fire, man. That's what they did in the ancient days. If somebody was that like their own sex for sex.
Right. Stupid shit like that, man. I'm gonna skip that one, man. Okay. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22. All right. I'm gonna start with verse 17. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 17. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. And okay, and individuals like that, they utter a slander, talking shit. Talking about it is not a cigarette, it's a blunt.
It's the same shit. To the Lord, it's the same shit, man. You smoking it, man. Because the Lord gave us the herbs, plants, for meats to eat or drink. All right. If you need the benefits of tobacco, weed, hey, eat it, man. Prepare it as food.
Right? The Most High gave us everything. Milk, water. I think it says in
He said every herb-bearing seed, all right, the Lord gave us to eat it. No, you don't eat poison ivy. You're not gonna eat no poisonous plants. You know, all right. But he said for meat, and what do you do? When you eat something, it's for your benefit, man. All right, for your health. Okay.
right?
These people that don't eat, they'll get high off. They'll use weed to get high instead of actually using it for its medicinal benefits, man. Don't eat too much because they want to get high. You know. So if
Right.
Stop it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But yeah,
All right. It says here in Proverbs chapter 11, verse 5, the righteousness of the perfect shall perfect his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Okay? The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. And they just want to sit up there and smoke weed, get high, get boxed, talk shit. They think it's funny that we out here freezing our nuts off to try to spread the truth of this gospel, to get their attention, to let them know in what time they're in, let them know that they are in the latter day, that the Most High is going to bring a great judgment. A great judgment is going to come from the Lord of hosts to the house of Israel. Go to Ezekiel chapter 11, no, Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4, and read through to verse 11.
Ezekiel 9:4 says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, and go to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have let not your eyes spared, neither have ye pity, slay utterly old, young, old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Right. And this is where the Most High Yahweh is going to send the evil spirits from to the ancient men that are at the house. And the head of the house, okay, are all of our camps, all of these churches. T.D. Jakes stepped down and have his daughter run his church. Okay, because he got caught pegging a little boy, just like Gorilla Hebrew got caught being a Pegatron. Okay, okay, real shit. I know it's funny, ain't it? Okay. Proverbs chapter 11.
It's because he's big as fuck, but he's a tall ass dude, bro. He's 6'5", 6'4",
Right,
and he's letting women do something to him like that, man.
right. Okay. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 20. They that are before in heart are an abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Okay? And the seed of the righteous are the 12 tribes of Israel. And only the elect according to grace, according to the election of grace. Okay? That grace and mercy is only going to be afforded to the Israelites that have been scattered, that adhere to this truth, that have adhered with ears to obey, to hear and forbear. Okay? Let me go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. Yeah. 7 and 31. Uh,
And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how
Right.
he may please his wife.
Right. See? So it's all about what our people are doing out here in the world. You got these wicked preachers and pastors at these churches. It's all about being carnally minded. Okay, it's all about the flesh, all about how much money you can get. Whereas with the spiritual minded, it's life and peace. And with us, it's all about salvation of the elect and getting our people out of the way. There's a huge difference between what we're doing at the 100% truth of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and other righteous men that taught us and what they're doing. Okay? Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Okay? And 2/3 of our people are still believing that the Most High God loves everybody. And Jesus Christ is his name. Okay?
Loves America. No, man.
No,
The Lord ain't saving no fucking America.
he sure ain't. America is not going to go into the kingdom of heaven. But 2/3 of our people are perfectly satisfied with what's going on in America. They're perfectly happy with crumbs from the master's table.
And then giving half those crumbs, even more, back to them.
And back taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they push the Great Tribulation and the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, when they push the mark of the beast, because they're going to push that shit next year in 2026. Okay? A lot of our people are going to sit down and they're going to take it in order to keep their job, in order to keep their money. Okay? Look how they was doing the motherfucking the shutdown in the government. They was begging the government to turn the goddamn food stamps back on. They was threatening to go in the stores and start stealing shit.
And look at 2020, the pandemic. They were taking all types of jump shots and syringes in their arm, man, just so they could keep a job, so they could be a part of society. They were scared. All right.
Right?
So how much more so when this little microchip are the size of a grain of rice, maybe smaller when the time comes, okay, it's made mandatory for you to take to stay afloat in society,
Right.
to be a part of society in that time. Very soon, okay?
Right? Lamentations chapter 4, verse 18. Our persecutors, no, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. What do you think they're doing with the Latinos? They hunting the steps of the Latino. They going into small businesses and the Latino businesses and arresting people, doing their job. Tax-paying citizens, just arresting them for nothing. And it's all about to try to get their microchip so they can be tracked and traced. That's all it's about, man. But anyway, I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 7, and then we're going to close out, man. Let's get going. The brother shaking.
It's all good.
Right? Moreover, Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 2. Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, unto the land of Israel, an end is come upon all the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. So for you going to church every Sunday, worshiping Jesus Christ, putting the goddamn Christmas tree up under in your house, and all of this other type of shit, the Most High is going to recompense you. I pray that the Most High God overlook me in the ignorance of my family. In the name of Yahweh Shah. That's all that we can do. Okay? Because these people are idiots, man. They're complete idiots. They have no clue as what they're doing. And when we try to explain to them what's going on, they don't want to hear what we got to say. Okay? They drive right on by, walk right on by, stop and mock, go straight over here to the goddamn cigarette shop, buying blunt sticks and weed.
They're spiritual.
Look, as soon as they get out of church, like a hoe in church, going to go buy smoke cigarettes, smoke some fucking weed, blunt sticks and stupid shit, man. See? Ain't nothing we can do. We stand out here and freeze our nuts off and try to tell these people the truth. They don't want to hear it. I'm gonna be out here again when it get colder and when the snow is on the ground.
Just to show our faith and our love.
And our love and the devotion to the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. That's the only reason why we're doing this. Is in the hopes to save our family. Get my woman out of this silly bullshit. She can't see it. She can't see the forest for the trees. Okay?
If they don't believe now, they're going to eventually believe when all these things that we're speaking, comes true, comes to pass,
Right?
And we're going to be those men that shall be a covering and a hiding place from the wind and the tempest, from death, because the Lord's going to cover us with his wings, and we're going to be covered, by Yahweh and these women, all right, the 1/3 children and women, hey, they're gonna look for us for a covering because we're gonna be covered by the Lord. Okay, Lord willing, that me and him, are those men that endure to the end.
Right? Next year, 2026, Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 19, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bellows, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. So cash money is going to be obsolete. People are going to be throwing paper money out in the fucking street because when it all goes digital, okay, you will not be able to buy and sell with paper money. They got to get rid of that bullshit within the next 2.5 years. Next year, they're going to try to push the market of beast and digital currency full force. They're running out of time. The Son of the Most High is almost here. They know it. They have satellites that can see into the furthest reaches of outer space. You have videos on my channel, on the brother's channel, and other brothers at Great Millstone that are showing an armada that is in the furthest reaches of outer space hurtling towards the earth at sublight speed. And these Edomite devils are scared. Why do you think they're going into their deep underground bunkers and shit? See? Anyway, an end is come. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Sashem Yahushai, an evil, only an evil is come, behold, is come. Verse 6, an end is come, the end is come, it watches for thee, behold, it is come. Okay? And all that you can see by putting biblical prophecy, by secular history of what's going on right now, America is falling the fuck apart. And they telling you these things at Christian church. They're watching our videos at Christian church in order to see where it goes to lead the people. But if they watch us, they're going to eventually lead the people into the light of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. But until then, it ain't going to happen. Right? Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 24. Wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. And I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy places shall be defiled. You got people that stopped going to church altogether. They're going to say it's going to be illegal to go to church. Okay? You're going to have people spray painting churches, setting them on fire. Okay? Destruction coming, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. Okay? So the Most High is going to shut our mouth. He's going to make our tongue cleave to the roof of our mouth. They're going to make a way. The Most High is going to make a way to where, like it says in Amos chapter 8, verse 11, okay, a famine of the word. You're not going to be able to find the prophets out here on the street corners risking their life and everything in order to tell you the truth to your face and what you should do in order to receive salvation. Because when the doors of mercy was open, you despised it. You despised the Holy One of Israel. You thought scorn of his law and mocked his way. So the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to bring an end to all of this bullshit. And you're going to be looking for us to try to tell you what to do, and you ain't going to be able to find us. So anyway, with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. All praises to the Most High Yahweh
Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Harakak.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth and teaching us this truth who rule well, as it is written in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? Ah, Palo, La Yakov, La Ha Portaza, La Ilah, La Ha Marakov, Shah Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Ha the Wak Shah, Ha required. I pray to endure to the end to ascend to the chariots of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua in the midst of the sky. Okay, and I got one more. Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 7. Aisha, la'a ramaya, lar sarla, la arawan, wa shapab, ma'a ramaya, mayan yawam, la yawam, maha ya rayam, abadyam, shal ha arawan, ba'atha wa ba'a, wa'at shalak, haya abadya, wa haya aisha, al hayawam, shal naquam. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Shalom.
Shalom.